Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning to you, wherever you are right about now. Welcome, it's Good Morning Grenada. I'm yours truly, Gary, Mr. Smooth, in with you for yet another day, and I trust that, of course, you guys are doing great. What today is, babe? Today's what day of the week it is, boy? Today's Thursday. It's like Thursday just popped up out of nowhere. I didn't realize so much of the week has already passed. This is the reality of life for busy people, at least. All right, good morning, getting ready for school, right? Good morning to you, getting ready for work. Let's go right into it, family. For those of you on the Facebook Live, good morning to you. Don't forget to share up the live, family. All right, wherever you might be right about now. And for friends viewing us on GBN TV, great to have you with us this morning. Those of you listening via K105 and Heart FM. Thank you for being with us. All right, so let's jump straight inside of the program this morning. We got the news coming your way at 6:45 in a short. So we got to speed along this morning. Just a quick update on the COVID-19 situation here in Grenada. The latest update still dated September the 23rd. 3 confirmed cases, 2 hospitalizations, and for those who were hospitalized, we trust that you have recovered. It's been since the 23rd we've had the last update. All right, so the current active cases here in Grenada, 51. All right, that's of course from the Ministry of Health, the latest COVID-19 dashboard. Well, not the latest, but you know what I mean, the last update we've had. Okay, all right, let's move straight inside of your word of the day. You get it? Grab a pen, grab a paper, let's get into it. It is gargantuan. Gargantuan, all right? That's, of course, an adjective, and it means very large in size or amount. Gargantuan, okay? Here is a sentence. Bigfoot is said to be a creature of gargantuan proportion. Bigfoot is said to be a creature of gargantuan proportions. Your word of the day. Okay, let's speed along with, of course, your thought of the day. Of course, a little something to keep you on the right path. You know, positive mental attitude. That's what it's all about in the morning time. So let's hit you up once with the thought of the day. And it goes a little something like this. Listen up. If you look at what you have in life, you would always have more. But if you look at what you don't have in life, you will never have enough. That's a quote credited to Oprah Winfrey. Once again, if you look at what you have in life, you would always have more. But if you look at what you don't have in life, you would always never rather have enough. Okay, it's kind of like seeing a glass half full as opposed to half empty. You know what I mean? Stop dwelling on what you don't have and start showing appreciation for the things or the little that you may have. Okay, keep that in mind, family. Go there and have a blessed and productive day today. All right, it's a beautiful day in Grenada. We've been inundated with a lot of rain. The condition that is outside there, the tropical system that is outside there. So if you take a look on the outside right about now, it's a rather gloomy looking Thursday. All right, well, we're going to get the official weather forecast a little bit later on, so we'll get an update as it pertains to that weather situation, that condition that is out there. How are our friends in Trinidad and Tobago doing today? I understand you guys got some serious water yesterday and into the night, so we hope that you guys are fine over there in Trinidad and Tobago. All right, it's Good Morning Grenada. Let's get inside of course, your little riddle for this morning. Let's have a little fun with this one, okay? And the riddle this morning goes a little something like this. What B double E can you pass around that doesn't sting? What B can you pass around? You think you got the correct answer for me? Hit me up this morning. Give me a call. The number here is 435-2041. Once again, it's 435-2041. And the riddle once again is, what B, spelled B-double-E, can you pass around that doesn't sting? Quite easy. Nice one this morning. Let's have fun with it. All right? Let's have fun with it. Once again, the number here is 435-2041. If you're getting ready for school, it's time that you put on that thinking cap right about now. And let's get to the phone line and find out who are the smarty pants out there who may have the correct answer for us this morning. All right? All right, so let's go to the phone line. Let's try and see if we got a winner here with us this morning. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Hi, good morning. Hello. Hi, good morning to you. Hi, good morning.
How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good.
What bee can you pass around that does not sting?
Love.
I love?
Mm-hmm.
Love. Oh, I love that answer, and I wish that was the correct answer indeed. But no, that's not the answer we're searching for this morning. All right, thanks a lot for calling this morning. All right, all right. No, it's not love. Once again, the riddle this morning: what bee can you pass around that doesn't sting? What bee can you pass around that doesn't sting? All right. Hey, you think you got a correct answer for us this morning? As we look at the time, it's 6:42. We're making our way up to 6:45, where, of course, we pause for the AM edition of news. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hi, good morning to you. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, you calling back?
Hi. No, I'm not calling.
Oh, you're not calling? Okay, all right. Where's the answer?
Is it the male one?
No, try again. Thank you very much. On the listener, it's what bee, B-E-E, can you pass around that doesn't sting? Think about it. Think about it. What bee can you pass around that doesn't sting? Some of you just busting your brain this morning trying to figure this one out. And then when somebody finally gets it right, you'll be like, oh, why didn't I think about that? All right. Back to the phone lines we go. Hi, good morning to you. Hi.
Good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good. You getting ready for school this morning?
Yes.
What school do you attend?
Car Government School.
Corinth Government School. Okay, you're gonna go brag to everyone this morning that you got the riddle right. Okay, what bee can you pass around that doesn't sting?
A frisbee.
A what bee?
A frisbee.
A frisbee?
Yeah.
All right. What's your name this morning? You're absolutely right. What's your name?
Jabali Philip.
Jabali Philip. All right. Congratulations to you. You are absolutely correct this morning. The only bee that you can pass around that would not sting, it's a frisbee. Have a blessed day today, okay? All right,
thank you.
Have a good day. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Congratulations. It's the only bee that you can pass around that don't sting. You didn't know that? Well, hey, no, you know. All right, that's it, my family. Okay, once again, it's Good Morning Greenader. We're getting ready for a break. We're going to take in the news on the K105's end, and then, of course, on GBN TV's end, we're going to take in the evening edition, the last evening edition of the news. All right, so stick around. We take a break. We come right back. Don't go anywhere.
Notice is hereby given that the 38th Annual General Meeting of the Grenada Union of Teachers Cooperative Credit Union Limited will be held virtually on Thursday, October 13, 2022. The meeting is called for the following purposes: to receive the report of the Board of Directors and other committees for 2021, to receive the audited financial reports for 2021, to elect members to the Board of Directors and other committees, to discuss and approve the budget for 2022, to appoint auditors and fix their remuneration, to take action on such matters as may come before the 38th Annual General Meeting. All members are invited to attend and to register to receive further information.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. Staff at the government printery and financial complex say they're working under unsafe and uncomfortable conditions. GBN's Christina John sought to find out what, if anything, is being done to address the situation.
It was brought to the attention of the Grenada Broadcasting Network that persistent rainfall has employees within 2 government offices having to vacate their workstations. Taking a closer look, one will notice buckets, bins, and other items being used as receptacles to catch water to avoid a flooding situation within their office space. One employee, whose identity is withheld, said they improvise with plastic to protect computers and other equipment, thus slowing down production. Back in December last year, employees, along with support from the union representatives, staged protest action to highlight the deplorable condition they had to endure at the government printery. It was a means of getting the attention of the administration to address it. In March of this year, the former NNP administration sought to find solutions, and work commenced on the roof of the printery building. The question now is, did that solve the problem? President of the Public Workers Union, Brian Grimes, was questioned.
So some remedial actions were taken, and there is an air extractor at the government printery now to sort of ease the chemical scent that was pervading the workstation and the area. Yes. However, what continues to happen is that there is severe water leakage in the government printery, a lot of molds and so forth, and it's not a simple problem. It's very, very chronic. The job that was done in terms of covering the roof, if I may say so, it was very poor in terms of how they did it, and as a result of that, the leakage to us and the workers will attest to that has gotten even worse.
GBN also understands that similar condition exists at the financial complex.
The Grenada Public Workers Union, we have written to the Ministry of Finance, very, very severe and, concerning occupational safety and health conditions of the workers at the financial complex. We wrote on the 26th. We got a response on the 27th from the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Mike Sylvester. We wrote in the context that we want a very, very urgent meeting because of the conditions that exist there, which includes very poor air quality, where we have a situation where offices have actually been evacuated. Workers are falling sick periodically at that station, the financial complex. In his response on the 27th, unfortunately, while the response was quick, we did not nail down a time. We did not nail down a time for us to have that urgent meeting to chart the way forward. Because the PW we are all about, so we hope shortly that we can have that meeting, that urgent meeting to chart the way forward to create that delicate balance of productivity and also to ensure that the workers' safety and health is protected.
Grimes says workers' health and safety should be a priority. He noted that Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell did visit the site. However, hopes something can be done in the quickest possible time as we are in the rainy season.
What I would want to say right now is that this current administration cannot fix everything immediately. We are keenly aware of that. So there is a delicate balance here where we want to maintain productivity and still protect the safety and the health of the workers. So I am pleased to report that the Prime Minister of the country, Honorable Dickon Mitchell, has visited the government printery in the month of August on 2 occasions and has given commitment to address this situation.
Our news desk reached out to the Prime Minister's Press Secretary, Tahira Carter, for a response. Up to news time, that was not forthcoming. Christina John, GBN News.
Inflation has been dubbed as the unwelcomed guest in the Latin America and Caribbean region as the World Bank released the Regional Economic Review for October. Methods and new approaches to closing the fiscal gap to pre-COVID-19 levels were also a highlight of the World Bank report. Gerard Joseph has more.
Inflation rate for the region, including Grenada, stands at 6%, according to the Regional Economic Review from the World Bank for October. Grenada's growth outlook for 2022 is at 3.8% according to the report, though inflation has led to sharp increases in food and fuel, which challenges household budgets across the region. World Bank Chief Economist for the region is William Maloney.
But the fact is that central banks have been very aggressive by historical standards, and that has both helped keep inflation down, but of course, as is the case everywhere in the world, that also contributes to a growth slowdown.
Maloney says there is no expected rise in inflation due to the policy measures taken. However, the fiscal deficits to deal with the inflation remains.
We've had a decrease in primary deficits of about 0.96 percentage points, but on the other hand, the higher interest payments are leaving overall deficits high. At this point, of course, the rising interest rates are making it harder to service the debt, but markets remain relatively calm. They're wary, but calm, and we just have to watch that going forward.
The Regional Economic Review shows Grenada having less than minus 2% fiscal balance compared to neighbors Dominica and St. Vincent, where a large deficit of over 8% is being witnessed for 2022. The chief economist says over the longer term, a limited fiscal space will constrain the necessary investments in infrastructure, education, and innovation needed for growth. In closing the fiscal gap, recommendations were made which included a new taxation, however noting the regressive nature of taxes such as VAT, which affects poor households greatly.
A better approach, we argue, is working towards more effective public spending. We estimate that eliminating losses in badly designed transfers, for instance, energy, procurement and wage bills could save roughly 17% of spending, and that implies that for 2 out of 3 countries in the region, you could basically balance the budgets, more than balance the budgets with those savings.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Disbursement of payments has already begun for persons applying for the third phase of government's stimulus package. More in this report from Rena Pierre-Thomas.
More applications are pouring in for the third phase of the COVID economic stimulus package. That's according to reports from the COVID Economic Secretariat. During a recent address, Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell announced that Cabinet has endorsed a revised package of relief measures to support individuals and businesses who continue to be affected by the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Chinelle Andrew, Deputy Project Coordinator, COVID-19 Economic Support Secretariat, says to date the Secretariat has received in excess of 2,000 applications so far.
Usually we process an application within 2 weeks, considering that we have to do the field visits and we have to assess the applications. However, I must say, due to the launch of this third phase, we have had a very high influx of application. To date, we have in excess of 2,000 applications to process. We are also dealing with walk-ins in excess of 100 persons per day. It had tapered down a little now that we are more into the program, but on some days we have as high as 350 something persons to deal with on a day. So it had put a little pressure on us, but we have restructured our operations to make sure that we process these applications and persons can receive their disbursements. We have started disbursing applications, payments already since the 1st of September.
The deadline for the submission of applications is December 31st, 2022 for the unemployment benefit under the micro and small business.
We're offering up to $30,000 in grants to small business persons, existing as well as new startups. We are also providing unemployment benefits where we work in collaboration with the National Insurance Scheme. If you have been unemployed as a result of the pandemic, you were laid off from your job, you can get unemployment benefit immediate assistance for the period September to December. So we have extended it again, once again, for those persons who are unable to gainfully seek employment. And the period is from August to December. Individuals would have to apply to us. They would produce a copy of their layoff letter from the employer stating that they were laid off as a result of the pandemic, and a copy of their NIS number. We normally work along with the National Insurance Scheme by submitting the names to NIS to confirm that the persons are, one, indeed registered, and they had contributions up to X amount. So we basically verifying that there's no contributions for the period that they are claiming that they are unemployed. So that is how NIS works with us to verify these contributions.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Travel woes within the region are expected to improve with the signing of an agreement with the new Liat and Caribbean Tourism Group.
A new Liat is on the way with the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the government of Antigua and Barbuda and the CFA Global, a subsidiary of Caribbean Tourism Group, the CTG, a private regional company involved in investments in travel, tourism, and aviation. Under the just signed memorandum, CTG T/A Liat International will deploy a fleet of small, medium, and large aircrafts, including Airbus A330, Airbus A320, and ATRs in passenger service to the Caribbean and South America, along with international travel routes from Europe. The memorandum for a partnership agreement on the operation of the new Antigua-based Liat International was signed in St. John's on Friday between Lennox Weston, Minister of Works and Finance of Antigua and Barbuda, and the chairman of CTG, Mr. Marshall. The MOU is in keeping with a commitment from the government of Antigua and Barbuda to ensure the restructuring and return of commercial service of regional airline Liat 2020. Central to the plan is developing international routes that will bring tourists and business persons from Asia and other parts of the world to the Caribbean, using Antigua as a gateway. One of the proposed routes is from Frankfurt, Germany to Antigua, which could become a viable connection for visitors from China, now that a visa waiver agreement between China and Antigua is set to be signed. This visa waiver would mean that Chinese citizens do not need visas to travel to the Caribbean nation and can reach the region in the shortest time in transit through Frankfurt. On arrival in Antigua, the passengers will then have the options using Liat 2020 or Liat International routes to travel to various other Caribbean countries. CTG says this will help promote the economic development of Antigua and benefit the rest of the member states of the Caribbean community. Christina John, GBN News.
Ricardo Joseph, a 33-year-old carpenter of Vincent St. David, was arrested and charged on October 1st with 5 counts of damage to property as a result of damage done to 5 vehicles on Sunday, July the 24th at Rucane, St. David. Joseph appeared at the St. David Magistrates Court on Tuesday, October the 4th, and was remanded to His Majesty's prison. He's scheduled to return to court on Thursday, the 13th of October, 2022. One elderly man who's been confined to his bed says suicidal thoughts are now plaguing his mind as he feels abandoned and helpless. He's calling on the public or persons in authority to come to his aid. Rena Pierre Thomas tells us more.
The phrase "once a man, twice a child" depicts the life of 64-year-old Raymond Buckmeyer of Gannans Valley, St. George. Buckmeyer lost his 2 legs to diabetes earlier this year. For the past 2 months, he has been living alone. He struggles daily to care for and feed himself. Even getting his daily shot of insulin is a challenge.
I couldn't come down the bed before. Sometime in the morning, I want to pass stool. I had a little bucket below the sheet all time passes. Sometimes I had to soil the bed till I'm able to fight, and I'm able to make it come down to the wheelchair to go in the washroom. But now, as you see, the wheelchair is no use anymore. Sometimes even my medication, as I was taking insulin in the fridge, I can't get to it. What could I do?
While he owns a wheelchair, it is no longer functional, and sometimes neighbors may send him a plate of food. His son, who is still a student, will visit him sometime in the late evening. Mr. Buckmeyer said he used to get assistance from a young lady on the government's geriatric program, but she no longer comes as her attitude and treatment towards him were unkind. He said on many occasions he would fall off the bed when trying to go to the bathroom or attempt to get something to eat.
I was trying to get down from the bed to go into the washroom. And what happened is I would not hold the wheelchair with one hand. The wheelchair roll from below me. And so I didn't have no choice, just to let go of the wheelchair and down. But I still, you see, I tied like a cow. You see I tied it? So that means you can't run. Yes, I fell down on the foot. I go down on the foot on the concrete.
Buckmeyer, who is a past SGU worker, says that his former employers assisted him in obtaining a prosthetic leg, but he is in desperate need of another. He said, looking back on his life and his present condition, suicidal thoughts plague his mind.
I should be thinking about it, but I does.
What did you think about yourself?
Even under the window. I've done it. Because it's like I have no use at all. Because nobody to talk to. Nobody to give me nothing. Nobody could say, well, need some water in the fridge for me. Nobody.
The 64-year-old is calling for assistance in obtaining another prosthetic leg or help from a respectable person who can visit him a few days a week from a geriatric program.
What I really would like happened for me, I would able to, if I get it other leg, I would go in my kitchen and prepare my meals. That is what I want. If that could happen, I'll thank God, although I always thanking him. Yes, I'm looking for somebody that could come and listen, but the person have to be able to dress my foot from a place, thank you. Maybe 3 times a week, that'll be fine. And if possible, I could get a little financial assistant, that will be really nice. I have a wheelchair, but it's just not in good condition, So I wish that I could get help, maybe in purchasing an extra.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
The resilience and contributions of older women, the theme that's been chosen for the observance of International Day of the Elder Persons. Government commits to work to alleviate some of the challenges elder persons face. More in this report from Christina John.
The month of October has been designated the month of the elderly, and within the month fell the observance of International Day of Elder Persons. This year, the spotlight fell on the contributions made by elder women in our communities. This year's theme is the resilience and contributions of older women. It has been found that older women account for most of the world's population and have been severely impacted by the global pandemic. Speaking on the occasion of International Day of the Elderly, Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Honorable Philip Telesford, recognized their contribution.
This year's theme is timely and acts as an indicator and reminder of the crucial role older women play in navigating global difficulties and making valuable contributions to their solutions with fortitude and tenacity. The main objectives of this year's observance of the United Nations International Day of Older Persons are: 1. To highlight the resilience of older women in the face of environmental, social, economic, and lifelong inequalities. 2. To raise awareness of the importance of improved worldwide data collection disadvantaged by age and gender. And 3. To call on member states, UN entities, UN women, and civil society to include older women in the center of all policies, ensuring gender equality as described in the UN Secretary General's report titled Our Common Agenda.
The minister notes that government is cognizant of other challenges faced by senior citizens, and so government has given its commitment to alleviate some of their burdens.
The government, through the ministry, continues to aid and partner with various stakeholders who provide services to older people in our Tri-Island state. The government of Grenada has remained committed to providing financial assistance through subventions to the Grenada National Council for the Disabled, GNCD, Grenada Citizens Advisory and Small Business Agency, GrenCase, Grenada Association of Retired Persons, GAP, and several geriatric homes to aid in their effort to provide quality services to the local older population.
The Ministry of Social and Community Development will spearhead activities for the month of the elderly. There will be, among other things, a health fair for senior citizens and a workshop for staff at geriatric facilities. Christelina John, GBN News.
Delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Gospel Explosion is finally here. Join the youth of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists under the green and white tent at Progress Park in St. Andrews from Sunday, October 9th to the 29th at 7 p.m. and continuing nightly for an electrifying evangelistic experience like no other.
We're back with you in the morning time, and we're back with Good Morning Grenada. Hope that you guys are enjoying a very, very blessed day today. As rainy as it might be, as gloomy as it might look, make the best out of this day. Good morning, someone says here. Kindly send birthday greetings to Auntie Dawn Francis McDonald on her special day from Sharon and Hummy. Thank you so very much. You all have a blessed day and happy birthday once again to Auntie Dawn. Yeah. All right, we're on the inside once again. Top of the morning to you. It's a beautiful looking Thursday. And I keep saying beautiful because every day is beautiful. It doesn't matter how much it rains on the outside. It's a planting day for farmers. Farmers are enjoying the weather, especially if you have a nice little collection system in your collection system in your garden. Yeah. Beautiful. Lovely. So, hey, For some, it's great. For some, not too great. Let's be appreciative of every season we are in, right? That's what I'm talking about. We're moving along here in the morning time. It's Good Morning Grenada. Let's get into some conversation this morning, shall we? Let's get into some conversation. But before we do that, the National Water and Sewage Authority, NAWASA, advises consumers served by the Concord water system that the current interruption in the water supply is due to a high turbidity resulting from continuous heavy rainfall. A timeline for restoration cannot be provided at this time. The Concord water system serves Concord, Grand Mall, Brizan, Happy Hill, Boucher, Joux, Cherry Hill, the Stadium, River Road, Mount Gay, and the entire town of St. George. Consumers are therefore encouraged to utilize their stored supply, taking into consideration the needs of their family and pets. NAWASA reminds persons of the need to always maintain a 3-day supply of water at minimum, representing 35 gallons of water per person per day. The authority apologizes for any inconvenience caused and thanks, of course, consumers for their patience as, of course, NAWASA work towards the delivery of a safe, adequate, and reliable supply. NAWASA committed to meeting customers' needs. Good morning to the hardworking team down there at NAWASA. I know you guys got your work cut out for you with all this rain and all that. So, continue the good work, guys. All right. As we continue the conversation here, we're talking this morning. This time we want to get into a topic where workers are not comfortable. Big up to all those in the public sector right now. Workers are not comfortable. Staff at the government printry and financial complex have deemed themselves to be under unsafe and uncomfortable conditions. All right? This follows complaints made earlier this year. So you guys would have remembered, the unions, they got together, they waved the placards, they did a little thing. All right, to bring attention to the working condition in some of those places. All right, so with all the rain that we've been getting lately, all right, this has taken up new energy, if you will. All right, so let's check out this news clip. We could also get your feedback on that. Don't forget, of course, your comments on the Facebook Live, definitely welcome. And for those of you WhatsApp, you can use that medium as well. The number is 435-2041. So let's check out this news report with regarding the workers at the financial complex and, of course, the government printry. We come right back.
It was brought to the attention of the Grenada Broadcasting Network that persistent rainfall has employees within 2 government offices having to vacate their workstations. Taking a closer look, one will notice buckets, bins, and other items being used as receptacles to catch water to avoid a flooding situation within their office space. One employee, whose identity is withheld, said they improvise with plastic to protect computers and other equipment, thus slowing down production. Back in December last year, employees, along with support from the union representatives, staged protest action to highlight the deplorable condition they had to endure at the government printry. It was a means of getting the attention of the administration to address it. In March of this year, the former NNP administration sought to find solutions, and work commenced on the roof of the printry building. The question now is, did that solve the problem? President of the Public Workers Union, Brian Grimes, was questioned.
So some remedial actions were taken, and there is an air extractor at the government printry now to sort of ease the chemical scent that was pervading the workstation and the area. Yes. However, what continues to happen is that there is severe water leakage in the government printry, a lot of molds and so forth, and it's not a simple problem. It's very, very chronic. The job that was done in terms of covering the roof, if I may say so, it was very poor in terms of how they did it, and as a result of that, the leakage to us, and the workers will attest to that, has gotten even worse.
GBN also understands that similar condition exists at the financial complex.
The Grenada Public Workers Union, we have written to the Ministry of Finance, very, very severe and, concerning occupational safety and health conditions of the workers at the financial complex. We wrote on the 26th. We got a response on the 27th from the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Mike Sylvester. We wrote in the context that we want a very, very urgent meeting because of the conditions that exist there, which includes very poor air quality, where we have a situation where offices have actually been evacuated, workers are falling sick periodically at that station, the financial complex. In his response on the 27th, unfortunately, while the response was quick, we did not nail down a time. We did not nail down a time for us to have that urgent meeting to chart the way forward. Because the PW, we are all about, so we hope shortly that we can have that meeting, that urgent meeting to chart the way forward to create that delicate balance of productivity and also to ensure that the workers' safety and health is protected.
Grimes says workers' health and safety should be a priority. He noted that Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell did visit the site. However, hopes something can be done in the quickest possible time as we are in the rainy season.
What I would want to say right now is that this current administration cannot fix everything immediately. We are keenly aware of that. So there is a delicate balance here where we want to maintain productivity and still protect the safety and the health of the workers. So I am pleased to report that the Prime Minister of the country, Honorable Dickon Mitchell, has visited the government printery in the month of August on 2 occasions and has given commitment to address the situation.
Our news desk reached out to the Prime Minister's Press Secretary, Tahira Carter, for a response. Up to news time, that was not forthcoming. Christina John, GBN News.
Thanks, Christina. Thank you so very much for that update there on that story. Indeed. So we do hope that this problem is fixed and fixed ASAP. And for those who have to endure walking in those conditions, and we say hold the strain. Better days are ahead, but it's not easy. Having to work in an environment that is not very conducive. You're home and rainfall, you're properly sheltered, you're feeling nice and cozy, and you go to work, a little rainfall, and the roof start leaking, all that kind of thing. That is miserable. All right. Besides, we have things like mold and mildew, all kind of things to contend with. All right. So we all know exposure to large amount of mold, and mold is of course is an allergen that can of course cause allergic reactions. All right, things like watery eyes, runny nose, sneezing, itching, coughing, sneezing, difficulty breathing, headache and fatigue. Exposure to mold can cause so many different things. The symptoms vary in so many different ways. So let me fix that. ASAP. All right, don't forget you can always weigh in on the discussion here this morning at any point. The number here is 435-2041. We're also going to endeavor to take some phone calls as well, or rather read your comments via the WhatsApp and the Facebook Live. We're going to get to that also. This month, October, is said to be the month of the child, but it has also been said to be the month of the elderly as well, and there's been some programs set up to observe and to bring that message out there, and we applaud and commend all those who are leading the way where that is concerned. However, we got a story, GBN picked up a story the other day. I'm sure you guys would have come across it at some point or the other. GBN picked up a story the other day of an elderly man who has been confined to his bed. All right, confined to his bed. All if all in a community right now, and all you know of any elderly person, make sure that you find out what level of care that person is getting. And let's be our neighbor's keeper, and let's be our neighbor's friends. Let's be that good Samaritan. So this elderly man, he's confined to his bed. He says that he's been plagued with suicidal thoughts. you know, and because he feels abandoned and he feels helpless. And so he's calling on the public or persons in authority to give a little help now. All right? His story is rather sad, but unfortunately, I don't think his story is an isolated one either. So let's check out this news clip, and all you do what all you can, all right? Let's check out the news clip. Let's go over.
Once a Man, Twice a Child depicts the life of 64-year-old Raymond Buckmeyer of Granans Valley, St. George. Buckmeyer lost his 2 legs to diabetes earlier this year. For the past 2 months, he has been living alone. He struggles daily to care for and feed himself. Even getting his daily shot of insulin is a challenge.
I couldn't come down the bed before. Sometime in the morning, I want to pass stool. I had a little bucket below the sheet all time passes. Sometimes I had to soil the bed. Soil the bed till I'm able to fight and I'm able to make it come down to the wheelchair to go in the washroom. But now as you see, the wheelchair is no use anymore. Sometimes even my medication, I supposed to take insulin in the fridge, I can't get to it. What could I do?
While he owns a wheelchair, it is no longer functional, and sometimes neighbors may send him a plate of food. His son, who is still a student, will visit him sometime in the late evening. Mr. Buckmeyer said he used to get assistance from a young lady on the government's geriatric program, but she no longer comes as her attitude and treatment towards him were unkind. He said on many occasions he would fall off the bed when trying to go to the bathroom or attempt to get something to eat.
I was trying to get down from the bed to go into the washroom. And what happened is I would not hold the wheelchair with one hand. The wheelchair rolled from below me. And so I didn't have no choice, just to let go of the wheelchair and down. But I still, you see, I tied like a cow. You see I tied it? So that means he can't run. Yes, I fell down on the foot. I go down on the foot on the concrete.
Buckmeyer, who is a past SGU worker, says that his former employers assisted him in obtaining a prosthetic leg, but he is in desperate need of another. He said, looking back on his life and his present condition, suicidal thoughts plague his mind.
I should be thinking about it, but I does.
What did you think about Mr. Buckmeyer?
He went out the window and done it. Because it's like I have no use at all. Because nobody to talk to. Nobody to give me nothing. Nobody could say, well, there's some water in the fridge for me. Nobody.
The 64-year-old is calling for assistance in obtaining another prosthetic leg or help from a respectable person who can visit him a few days a week from a geriatric program.
What I really would like happens for me, I would able to, if I get it all, I want to go in my kitchen and prepare my meals. That is what I want. If that could happen, I'll thank God, although I always thanking him. Yes, I'm looking for somebody that could come and they said, but the person have to be able to dress my foot from a please, thank you. Maybe 3 times a week, you know, that'll be fine. And if possible, I could get a little financial assistant. That will be really nice. I have a wheelchair, but it's just not in good condition, you know. So I wish that I could get help, maybe in purchasing an extra.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pet Thomas reporting.
Yeah, so that is the situation as it is right now. Sad story, yeah? Really sad. I feel its pain, and I'm sure a lot of all your viewing and listening right about now feel the same way. I'm sure. So let's do what we can. Someone says here, good morning. I saw on GBN News of the Buckmeyer disabled man who... Do you know which part in Granans Valley he lives? If it is a place I can reach freely, I would like materials to help him with the dressing of his ulcers. Who do I ask for help to meet the needs of this person? I am a retired nurse. All right. So as it relates to the story that I just I just ran there with this disabled man who is begging for help. We're going to see how we can maybe get his number or something so that somebody in the community where he is from or otherwise can reach out and help. Good morning, you're live.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Roberts. Greetings.
Greetings, sir.
Two very interesting points came across. First, let's deal with the first one as it relates to quote-unquote preventative maintenance of state assets. The government of Grenada is guilty of abandonment of state assets. But I'll tell you, it's a strategy because I worked with the government. Some of them allow this thing to run down to the ground because they want to sell them out. And in other cases, because they want to attract funding. And when they get the funding, they abuse it in other things and they reject the maintenance of assets of the state, which at the final analysis cost the people. We need a system in place where all state assets are reviewed on a monthly basis and repaired in time. A stitch in time saves 9. We prevent illnesses and so on by attending to our bodies. If we don't bathe on a daily basis, brush your teeth, etc., we run down to nothing. It's the same with buildings, the airport, the roads, all over. We need to be more attentive to these things. I trust that this new administration will take a different look at the state assets and its preventative maintenance. The second issue, that one pains me. You want to know why that one pains me? Because this colonial government, this imperial government that we have ruled by a king now, and the agent, so-called Governor General, they control all issues related to the people with disabilities in this country, abusing us. You hear? In the presence of an international convention that protects the rights of people of that gentleman, Mr. Buckmeyer. But the Governor General rules the show with a few puppy show they had it, claiming to be representatives of the people with disabilities in this country. There it is. There is the evidence. They don't care about us. They care about running a pity party to feel sorry for you, to feed you with more processed foods, to kill you faster with diabetes, than to attend to the needs of the people like Mr. Buckmeyer. I feel the story, and I will continue to clamor for the government of Grenada to immediately legislate on behalf of the people with disabilities, so that the people of disability at all levels, whether it be blind, whether it be whatever, have the necessary care that is due to them according to international law. Down with colonialism, I say. Down with colonialism.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Rollo. Thank you so very much. Very passionate as always, and we can appreciate where he's coming from, being someone with disability himself. All right. So we're going to seek, hopefully by the end of this show, we can have a number that we can disseminate so that the people viewing and who are interested in helping can do so. I know a lot of folks have concerns with the way the said gentleman, brings his point across, to each his own. But sometimes we need to get deeper and, subtract and add and take away what we can. Okay? And for those who are living with disabilities here in Grenada, we hope that you get the help, and the government and those in the community, lend a helping hand. Because at the end of the day, like I said, and I continue to say it, a country is only as successful and as strong as the help given to its seniors, including those with disabilities. Okay? So let's do better, Wally, okay? Let's do better. We ain't pointing fingers. We don't blaming no one. We just saying, okay, let me see things for what it is right about now, and let me fix it now, and let's do better going forward. All right? Good morning. Hello, good morning, you're live. All right, so we lost that caller right there. 7:30 is the time right now. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue with the discussion right here inside of Good Morning Grenada. Y'all don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick pause and come right back and continue with the discussion. Stay with us, guys.
MegaFest 2022 Gospel Explosion is finally here. Join the youth of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists under the green and white tent at Progress Park in St. Andrews from Sunday, October 9th to the 29th at 7 p.m. and continuing nightly for an electrifying evangelistic experience like no other. Come hear the ever-exhilarating Pastor Oliver Scott shatter the kingdom of darkness with thundering messages from the Word of God. If you ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need Him now. Come find hope in the midst of your pain. See you there.
I'm a winner. You are winner. We are winners. Winners.
It's the big one. Grenada. Imagine winning $25,000 and up to 6 times by scratching just one lotto ticket. Get your triple cash scratch tickets for a chance to live your best life. Win easy with Scratch. For just $3, match any of your numbers to any of the winning numbers and win the prize shown for that number. Reveal a money back symbol and win the prize instantly. Triple cash scratch. In stores now. Must be 18 or older to play.
Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I get up, I'm feeling right.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
A whole new level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
MegaFest 2022 Gospel Explosion is finally here. Join the youth of the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists under the green and white tent at Progress Park in St. Andrews from Sunday, October 9th to the 29th at 7 p.m. and continuing nightly for an electrifying evangelistic experience like no other. Come hear the ever-exhilarating Pastor Oliver Scott shatter the kingdom of darkness with thundering messages from the Word of God. If you ever needed the Lord before, we sure do need Him now. Come find hope in the midst of your pain. See you there.
Here's where we at right about now, family. If you're just plugging on, thank you for choosing us. Of course, it's K105, and of course, we are not taking any calls via the WhatsApp number. So don't try calling us. All right, don't try calling us. You only can WhatsApp. Happy birthday to Mrs. Janice Leslie from Wester Hall, St. David. Greetings coming from her relatives and friends celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday to you. All right, let's go over to the phone lines. Let's see if we can take a quick call. Hi, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Smooth.
What's going on?
Not bad at all.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, calling concerning that thing with the disability guy. You know, I sympathize with him. I do believe, yes, that government can do a lot more for people in Grenada, when it comes to disability, because none of us know where we will end up. But certain things came to my mind as well in the process. There's some of us who live our life reckless and selfish. I'm not saying that is the case of that gentleman, but the point is, so sometimes when you get down to a certain age in life, because of the way you live your life, being selfish and reckless, you end up in a situation when nobody don't look out for you or put a hand for you. So it's unfortunately, this gentleman happened to be in the situation where he is. Coming back to Mr. Rolo as well, I listen to him. He speaks a lot, and I respect him for that, but there's certain things cross my mind. Even Mr. Rolo, at his age now, and like he said a while ago, he did a lot for Grenada. How come at this point in time, all his life he lived under the colonialism and never complain or object to a lot of things that he did? Unfortunately, his situation now, again, I've met him on the street personally and I wanted to help, and the way he acted, I refused. So probably his selfishness caused him not to get the help he need as well. But I would like to know, Gary, if you all have a phone number for this guy, I would love to get it. You have my number. I would like you to call me, and I'll do what I can to help this gentleman. I might be in a little position. I'm not saying I'm well up, but I believe somebody like that, I could give him whatever necessary help I personally can.
Yeah.
So if you have your number, you can call me back and give me his number.
I did, and forgive me for not taking it down, but as I was leaving the house this morning, I did see a number on the GBN news story. If you would go on the GBN, go on GBN's Facebook page, under that news story, there's a number posted there by a commenter. All right. So
no problem. So I try to get him, and whatever assistance I can give to him, I will.
Yeah.
But some people live their life as a reckless and selfish, and we end up in certain situations. None of us know where you're going to end up. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Haven Ale says here, the issues Rolo complains about were ignored for years. The new AG noted that funds were misallocated and used for campaigning. Why weren't these funds used to facilitate the disabled, handicap here in Grenada? All right, thanks for your comment there, Haven Hill, on the Facebook Live. Okay, let's see who else can we. Any other comment we can take here? I want to see to make sure that it is pertinent. The geriatric program must be investigated to ensure they practice due diligence in selecting employees. The gentleman did speak about one person who was apparently caring for him that was not very kind to him. Okay, but I tell you, we just put sometimes the wrong people in the wrong position. But no, all jokes aside, let me do something. It doesn't take one person to look after that individual. If we all as a community, as a nation, I go on a Wednesday, this other person goes on a Monday, a Friday, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just to ensure, hey, sir, are you okay? What can I help you with? Okay, you need this, you need that. I run and pick up a little something in the shop for you, and we make sure collectively that the person in our community who might be bedridden, or persons who might be bedridden or disabled, let me open up the phone lines, who are bedridden or disabled, get the attention they need. All right? We're going to move on to a different news story in a while, but let's go back to the phone lines. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Looking at the story, I'm a bit taken aback because as limited as our nurses are, I'm aware that there are community nurses who go about and visit people like that and administer dressing and, things like that. They do it through the community centers or the health centers in various places, and I don't know why that, they're not aware that you have somebody with an amputee in their home that need dressing. I mean, something is not adding up, because, where I live, and I know, there are other villages.
But how active are those community nurses?
They are very active. I live at Hope in the community, a little above me, Mount Carmel. I know of a nursing assistant that has been there for years. She has recently retired, visit people at their home and do their dressing. I know it's happening in St. David. There are various communities, nurses can attest to that. So, something went wrong. I don't know. And like the gentleman said, he had a person attending to him from geriatric care. No, maybe these people have to get more training to deal with people like that and assist them in the way they ought to, because I'm hearing of various people that are complaining of the attitudes of some of these people. So, we really need to look into that. There are community nurses that go out and visit people at home and help in the various communities. Have a great day.
All right, thanks a lot for your very valid input to this conversation with regard to the disabled and that individual that we featured this morning. There was a really nice story. I think it came from the Woburn area, and I meant to highlight it earlier on in the week. Unfortunately, we didn't get to that, but let me see if it's in my program. If it is, then we go touch it earlier. All right. Yeah, Master Control, if you can scroll right down to the program, scroll right down to the end of the program, open up that link right there, and this speaks of a gentleman in the Woburn area. He suffered bends, aka decompression sickness. That was back in 2013, and he sustained damage to his feet to the point where he cannot walk without the aid of his walker, right? And many people are amazed of his determination and resilience. All right, they are shocked to know this man, he still dives. On the faces of so many different people, and his response was when the minister, one of the ministers, went in the area. His response was, "Minister, I know how I feel. How I will take care of myself. How else would I mind myself? How else would I put food on my table? I had to go out there and do something." So he dives, can't walk, but he's without the aid of course, a walker, but he still dives. So I just had to bring that story so we can, juxtaposition it to the kudos to those who have disabilities and not letting that limit them. All right, you're not using that as an excuse. You're not using that as an excuse to sit there and do nothing for yourself. All right, there's always a way. All right, good stuff in the morning time. We're going to change and move along, changing topic, changing course. All right, this issue with regarding the latest murder in Grenada, is one that is rather sad. The family of the deceased, they are crying out for help. They are crying out for justice. You would have heard that the two men charged by police in this latest homicide are remanded at the Richmond Hill prison until their next court appearance. All right, while the family members of the deceased, Darren Coutain, they are crying out for justice. They are crying out, the man, I think it was a few of them, the plumber the man to death. All right, so let's check out the news story, and we'll come right back, because unfortunately there is another talking point within that story, and we're going to get to that. Check it out. All right, once you guys are ready with that clip, we're going to run it. Within that clip, Jerry Edwin, the lawyer representing the accused, spoke and said a few things that might have caused an uproar, if you will. An uproar. So we have to ask the question, what is softness or skull softness? If I'm phrasing this correctly, what is that? You know what I mean? He said that the gentleman died from skull softness, quote unquote, softness of skull. Is that a legal term? Is that what is that? You know, forgive my ignorance. Let's check out the news clip.
Capital murder. Belmont residents 31-year-old Jude Buckmeyer, a construction worker, and his nephew 22-year-old Stephen Buckmeyer, a boat maintenance worker, made their first court appearance before the St. George Magistrate Court on Tuesday morning. Both men were charged with the murder of Deron Coutain, a 31-year-old Belmont resident from Pearls, St. Andrew. According to reports, Jude Buckmeyer and the deceased, Deron Coutain, had an altercation at his shop in Belmont, St. George last Thursday night. At around 5 a.m. Friday morning, while preparing for work at his home, Coutain was attacked and severely beaten. He later died as a result of blunt trauma to his head and rib area. Deron Coutain's sister, Tanisha Coutain, claims her brother was brutally attacked by 5 individuals and not 2.
Around 5 o'clock, they called me, a girlfriend called me, and she said to me, she see about 4 guys, 1 girl running from where he's staying in the house, and with plank and iron, which the girl was saying he have to dead, he must dead. So she ran down there, she met my brother lying down on the bed on his side with blood running out from his nose and his mouth, and he was showing his head where he gets several blows in his head and also on his side. Did get a lot of leaks. To be honest with you, his brain on the left side, well, fracture. His whole body on the left side from his brain go down, fractures.
Tanisha said her brother had no time to defend himself and should not have died in such a manner. She explained that by the time she was able to reach the hospital and process the situation, she was told her brother had died.
They rushed him to ICU, and they spent a while with him in ICU, and then they came back and they told me that we're sorry we lost him. I feel very sad, and God hear me. I mean, I wish I could give them back the same blow they give to my brother. He didn't have to go that way. He didn't have to go that way at all.
The grieving sister is calling for justice for her brother as she explains that her entire family is heartbroken by the incident. Meanwhile, Jerry Edwin, the lawyer representing Jude and Stephen Buckmeyer, says the unfortunate death of Coutain is as a result of having a soft skull.
This is an unfortunate incident that involves, I just say, a victim who had a soft skull. Indeed, although the charge is of the most serious type, the victim in this case was not maliciously attacked. There was no extreme violence, no brutality of any exaggerated kind.
The lawyer says he anticipates that the charges against Stephen will be dropped as evidence he reviewed indicates that the 22-year-old played no role in the death of Coutain.
From the evidence before the court and what I have seen, Stephen played no role in causing the death of the deceased. So we anticipate that the prosecution, after looking at the evidence in this unfortunate incident that occurred in Belmont last Friday, will and should discontinue the case against young Stephen McDonald.
You would like the charges dropped against Stephen. Are you looking for bail for Jude?
I will be applying for bail to the High Court, because as you know, the Magistrates Court does not have jurisdiction over these matters. So we anticipate that a bail application will be made before the High Court, before the end of this week, for Stephen Buckmeyer.
Jude and Stephen Buckmeyer were remanded at His Majesty's Prison until their next court date appearance on October 21st. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Thank you very much, Rena, for that report there. This been a few days ago. I think this happened over the weekend. So the unfortunate situation is that the gentleman died not because of blunt trauma to the head, because he have a soft skull. You know, I don't get it. Y'all help me understand this, please. Help me understand this. All right. Hi, good morning to you.
Good morning, son. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Well, I'm just calling about the other, something about the past I want to talk about, the program you talk about this morning.
Go right ahead.
Topic. Yeah, what I want to talk about concerning the elderly, I think sometimes we have to do things like we see foreign countries do, and sometimes we have to adopt our own system. We should have in the 6 parishes, if it's 6 or 7 people in each parish that reports to the health center with the nurses, and the government or the Ministry of Health supposed to have a record of all the disabled people or elderly people that cannot really help themselves. So some of these groups goes out to them on mornings and check and assist or whatever. Right? That's one. But then the other one is concerning this government buildings or repair. They need to bring back the something like the Public Works Department that they had in the early days. The Public Works Department have a number of men working, carpenters, masons, electricians, plumbers, drivers with trucks, tractor, whatever. And that is there to do the government work. Right? For instance, like the hospital, they have a blueprint of the electrical system. Know how they are. So that Public Works Department, they oversee everything concerning the government buildings. Right now, what they're doing, they have something called something ministerial infrastructure. They don't have a proper place with men or nothing. So every time you give a contract to someone else to go to do something, that person is new, so they don't know that they have to fish when you do troubleshoot and do all these things first before they get to do, and then they do it wrong. So you have to have a place that's responsible and they know everything about the toilet system, so when they send men there, and that place might have at least like the old public, 150 to 200 people employed to do all these things. But then still, because of the volume or the population grow, you could still have the government giving contracts to other individuals, but the Public Works Department with all the engineers and the workers, they come and oversee and make sure that everything is right. As long as we don't want to get to this thing and go into all modern things, just get a man, pay my money, do right. That is a big problem. Because for you, sir, you have a car. I used to work in a garage. You don't have a different mechanic every day. You have the same men, and they're doing who fixing brakes, who better on the carburetor, who better on gearbox, who better on setting engine. So when you bring your car there, you know that these people know not every minute you bring it to a different, and then they know your car very well. So you don't bring it to every different garage anytime they don't know the history of your vehicle.
All right, let me wrap up the point. Go ahead.
Right. Thank you very much. I'll go any day.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right. We just got about 6 minutes remaining, so we want to make the calls, nice and spicy, short and spicy. All right. So 435-2041 is the number here earlier. Okay, that's the number you call. So let's make it short because we run out of time. Hi. Good morning. Hi, good morning. Pressing the wrong thing, boy. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Go right ahead.
Yes, I'm just thinking that there's a lot of like humanis that government should have some of these humanis trained to do this work for disabled people, because the health centers, they don't even have enough nurses there that they should take one to send to the altar to help these people in the community. So have some of the many people, train them well that they would be able to go on assist and make them know that's what they have to do for the day. Because we hardly have enough of the nurses in the communities already.
All right. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot very much. Thanks a lot for your contribution. We're moving along here this morning. Veronica Sandy says, yeah, really soft skull. Who has soft skull? And who has hard skull? Lawyer is a doctor, no. All right. We're moving along here. Good morning to you. Let's go. Hi. Good morning, live.
Good morning.
All right. Make it fast.
No. I don't even know what happened in the world and specifically Grenada. What we do, everybody, I'm not saying this present government want to make a cut. As they say, they want to get something special. So they have special men to give contract. But as the last male caller said, it's best you have people who are permanently employed, because they don't have to make a cut. So when you have, and maybe the cut goes back to the minister who gives them the work. But if you have general workers and you're paying them a monthly salary, I think that they would be getting the salary, but the strain on the government, the salary would be less as compared to taking a contract. The man has to make profit for himself or the woman, and they have to make.
Hold on there. What are we talking about there?
Huh?
What specifically are we talking about?
We're talking about the work for people working and taking contract, giving contract.
This is not part of any of the topics we've discussed so far.
No, hold on.
All right, so call us back. This is not part of the topic of discussion this morning. All right, let's take another one quickly. Hi, good morning.
Morning. You see, people don't listen because you're talking about Jerry Edwin, but they just change the topic completely. But my personal opinion about Jerry Edwin, I think he's just selfish and he wants to make money at all costs. I don't care about people. We can think about soft head. What about somebody hit him in the head and they kill him? How many people free the person and say that Jerry Edwin has soft head? Likewise, I feel he's just selfish and playing a doctor and he's very ignorant. Okay.
Thanks a lot, caller. Thanks a lot for your contribution. See, Ollie, we could make it thing nice and sweet too, eh? So thanks for those of you who keeping it short. All right, moving along here this morning. Hi, good morning to you.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we have to rush some of those important conversations.
Unfortunate,
but nonetheless, I would say that what we need in Grenada is a just society that treats everybody with human dignity and so on. And by and large, we're not, because even when people are on the victim side, you hear they say that if they get a chance, they would also do the same thing by it's done. So we have to find a way that everybody would be respected for the value of their not the status. We are all human beings. We are said to be carrying the image of God. So let us treat each other with that kind of respect. I will stop you.
Yeah, thank you so very much. All right. We got time for one last caller, but you got to make it really short as we get ready to close it off inside of Good Morning Grenada. Good morning. Hi, good morning. You're there.
Hi, yes, good morning. Concerning this soft call, I find that statement come out a little too early, and I think the doctor should come and explain about the soft call or what killed him or what the case may be. I should hear it from the lawyer in this early stage. Just so much days that I'm wondering if the lawyer and the doctor had a good chat about that.
Thanks for your comment. Interesting question. All right, we got to wrap it up here. Did anyone notice Jerry Edwin putting on sunglasses stylishly with his? Even I will leave the rest of that comment out of the way. All right. Thanks everyone for being a part of Good Morning Grenada. Lots of comments on the Facebook Live, so you all can head on over there and read some of the some of the comments yourself. Some of them, of course, not airworthy, and some of them, for other reasons, I rather not read out. But those that are, I would make efforts to do so. All right, but we got to wrap it up here. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of Good Morning Grenada. It's been a pleasure being with you. My name is Gary, Mr. Smooth. You can catch me over on Hot 98, where we're going to continue the conversation and, of course, get you all the music you need to carry you through this morning. But until that time, have a blessed day. We've got, of course, the BBC. That is up in a short while. Stay with us. It's Good Morning Grenada. We say bye-bye. See you guys on the other side.